Before he conquered the world, Alexander committed his first terrifying massacre here. At Chaeronea, Greece was crushed beneath Macedonian slaughter built specifically for slaughter, bloodshed, and destroying the freedom of the ancient Greek cities forever. In Rhein-Goid 8 BC, Athens and Thebes formed a desperate alliance to stop the invasion. Everyone understood defeat would not mean losing a normal battle, but the permanent death of Greek independence beneath a brutal rising military power. Philip Tida arrived at Chaeronea leading a crushing Macedonian army, beside his 18-year-old son Alexander. This was not a defensive war, but the beginning of a brutal campaign designed to destroy the independence of every Greek city forever. The plains of Chaeronea filled tens of thousands of warriors, bronze shields with endless spear formations. Both armies stood face to face beneath dust and heat. While Greece moved toward one of the bloodiest mountains in its history, the Macedonians possessed a terrifying weapon that changed ancient warfare forever, the giant Sarissa spear. Their formations became a moving wall of steel, turning any direct attack into mass suicide, inside a battlefield drowning in chaos and death. On the opposite side stood the sacred band of Thebes, the most feared elite warriors in Greece. These men swore to fight until death itself, refusing to retreat even as the Greek armies around them collapsed into chaos and destruction. When the armies finally collided, Chaeronea exploded into chaos beneath screaming soldiers, shattered shields, collapsing losses, and endless dust storms. Arrows ripped through the battlefield when the ground itself disappeared and had blood, fire, panic, and unstoppable slaughter. Made into a retreat as if the Macedon was collapsing. Blinded by confidence and rage, and the Thracians charged forward, without realizing they were marching directly into one of the deadliest military traps in ancient history. Push forward! Take them! While the Athenians rushed forward, their lines slowly began collapsing beneath the dust and confusion. At that exact moment, Philip gave the order, and the Macedonian retreat suddenly transformed in a devastating counterattack that shattered the Greek defenses completely. On the opposite flank, Alexander personally led the companion cavalry directly into heart of the Theban army. The Macedonian horsemen smashed through the lines violently, turning the battlefield into total chaos, iron, blood, dust, and collapsing formations. Despite the catastrophe surrounding them, refused to flee, band, or surrender. They fought until the final breath upon the fields of Chaeronea, dying beneath spears and horses. The Theban warriors still fighting violently despite certain military history, refusing to retreat, continuing to fight while completely. After crushing the Thebans, Philip launched a full assault against the exhausted Athenians. The Greek army completely collapsed, and terrified soldiers fled across the battlefield, while Medenian spears cut through the retreating lines without resistance or mercy. As the battle finally ended, Chaeronea was covered with corpses, shattered shields, broken spear, and dead horses. Thousands had fallen within hours, and the power of the Greek city-states disappeared beneath the rising dominance of Macedonian military rule forever. After this devastating battle, Macedon became the dominant power over Greece. The Greek cities were forced to submit to Philip, while fear spread across the ancient world. As a brutal new era began beneath Macedonian swords and absolute military control, Alexander emerged from Chaeronea as a terrifying young commander, and his name began spreading across the ancient world. The battle did not only secure Macedonian victory, it revealed the future conqueror who would later invade blood and war. Danson sat at bis behind him, purple royal banners and soldiers watching fear and admiration. Chaeronea was not just another battle. It was the moment Greek freedom died forever. Here, the Macedonian Empire was born, and the bloody road began that would fully mold into the transformed Alexander, the most dangerous conqueror world had ever seen.